The objective of this video is to show you how you can go in and create sections in your course to differentiate the class periods in your gradebook. You can create these sections, you can batch enroll your students, and also if you want to limit your communication, you can batch create silent student mode. So let's go ahead and get started now. In your course, you will come over to your section. Well, first of all, let's go ahead and put some people in. As you can see, I have no users in my section. If you have users who are coming into your course from another course in your class, once you have submitted your spreadsheet and the user is in the system, you can simply go in and add their user MSIS numbers, add them as students, and add them into your course. Canvas will go in and validate that the users are actually there, and then it will enroll them. As you can see now, we've got all these users listed as students in the course. You can do this at any time. Now, to create sections, very simple. We're going to go into settings. Before we continue, I want to tell you about the rule of dates. Each Canvas course has a term. The term has dates with which the teachers and students can actually access the course. Generally, MDE Canvas has it set up to open in the middle of July and close in the middle of June. Teachers are empowered to actually start their own dates whenever they want. As you can see, this one starts on August 1st of 2015 and ends on May 29th of 2015. Now, this date would override the term dates. However, we are going to create sections to differentiate class periods in the gradebook and also to set up silent students. So when you go to section, the dates that you create in the sections will override the course dates and the term dates. So as long as we keep that in mind, we're in good business. Now we're going to add a couple of sections here, and I'm just going to call this silent student period 1. The reason I'm doing this is because a lot of people want to do things with silent students to limit the communication to just between the student and the teacher. And I add my section, and you can see it's added. I'm going to go ahead and add a second section just to give us a couple to work from. Once I've done that, the next thing I've got to do is I've got to come in to the silent student period, and I've got to edit that section to put a start and end date. So if I wanted this to start on the 1st of September when class started, and I want it to end, say, in December, maybe you're on the block period, now I've got my start date and end date for this section. I want to be sure to click where it says users can only participate between these dates. As you can see, this tells you right here, this date will override any term or course date settings. So we go ahead and we update that. We now go back to course settings, and we repeat this for the remainder of our sections that we have created. I go to second period, I edit the section, I create the start date, I select the end date, I say users can only participate between these dates, and I am warned that this will override any term or course date settings. So now I say yes. Now we've got one more date to change here, and that is the main section that your students are in. When Canvas creates your course shell and adds your student, it puts them all in one section. We're going to come into this, and we've got to stop this section from being available to your students, because they would then be able to talk to each other. So what we do is we simply go back, edit the section. I like to just start it on September 1st. Actually, I'm going to go back and set it on August 1st as the start date and August 2nd as the end date. It's got to be in the same year. It's got to be something that closes it down so that they cannot actually see the course. Users can only participate during this period, and we'll update the section. At this point, we've got our sections set up. These are going to separate our students into our course class periods, and this is closing this one so they cannot communicate or see everything. Now we're actually going to begin batch populating. Very simple to do. Come to your class roster by clicking on People. Now, as you can see, all of these students are listed in the main How to Create Your Canvas course. They can't access that because it's only available from August the 1st through August the 2nd. Now we want to add these students into your sections. How will we do that? We're going to go to the spreadsheet that you submitted to the RCU, and you are going to select the students who should be in the first period. So we're going to take Piper, Phoebe, and Prue. We're going to copy their MSIS number. Now I'm going to come back to my Canvas course. I'm going to click on the plus people, add people, and now I'm going to paste those MSIS numbers into this address box. The role I want them to be in is silent student. And then I select which section I want them to be in. So I want them to be in first period. I select next. It validates that the users exist, and then it adds the users into the enrollment. So now, as you will see, my students are listed as silent student and student, the student being the initial role they were in. Let's go ahead and add a few more. We'll go in here. We're going to add these two, copy those two, come back, add people, paste those MSIS numbers in, put them as a silent student in period 2. And again, the users are validated. They're in the system, so now we can add them to the system. And as you can see, now we've got students in silent student period 2, silent student period 1. Now you may see that it says how to create your course and the student is still listed there. That's not a problem. They cannot access the course from that. So I would leave that alone, and you should not have any problems whatsoever. Now, just to show you what happens, if you put a user in that does not actually exist in the system, what will happen is, as you paste them in, put them as silent student in period 1, it will come up and it will tell you that these users could not be added. What that means is they're not in the system. So you have to start over again. So again, as long as a student is in the system, all you have to do is add the person, paste their MSIS number in here, add them as a silent student, and then put them in the particular course or the section. Now, just to show you what this does, we can go to the grades. This is all sections, so these are the 5 users that we added. But what I can do is go in to silent student period 1, and it just shows the students there. So as an instructor, if you're trying to sort your grade book and just look at users in a particular class period, by creating that section, you can do that. There's section 1, section 2, section 1, and then the entire course. So hopefully this has given you an idea on how to create this. There is a place where you can go, a blog site you can go to, where we have the instructions for batch creating sections, and we'll add this into our video in just a short bit. Also, if you have any other questions, you can contact us via email, helpdesk@rcu.msstate.edu, or you can call us at area code 662-325-2510.